Hey guys, Paul from Ashen Phoenix. New comic book day for the week of November 16th, and we're going to get started right away. Unfortunately, Victoria wasn't able to make it. She's had a family emergency, so we wish her the best. We were going to carry on without her, so everything's going to be a little bit supersized. Me and Tim both have 4 comics apiece, and hopefully they don't suck, so we'll see how that goes. First up, Trinity, issue number 3. Not a lot to say about this book. It's been solid. We are still kind of figuring out its footing on what's going on, why the situations are happening if they are. You are getting a great reintroduction to the team, the basic Trinity. You are getting to know a lot of the inner workings and a lot of the emotional background of these characters and how they're supposed to interact with each other now that Superman is kind of a for lack of a better term, a stranger to the other two. So this has definitely been one that I've been picking up. This one was a little tough, it was a little trippy, but the payoff at the end was better, and I highly suggest picking this one up. The art is great. The storytelling is really great. It's a little bit heartbreaking. This was kind of a rough issue to get through, but it was very well written, and I highly suggest picking this one up.
Hey guys, Tim from Capes and Scowls, and if you enjoy these videos, maybe you would enjoy the unboxing videos that Paul does on his channel. I also do unboxings, and I do different ones that Paul doesn't do, so you could watch a bunch of unboxings if you like that thing. And if you don't like that thing, you could still watch them, so that's good for you. Anyways, I'm going to talk about Harbinger Renegades #1 from Valiant Comics. This book was pretty good. It's a ton of setup. They do a really good job of telling you what Harbinger has been in the past in Valiant. It's a team. Think of it kind of like their X-Men book. There's characters, there's people that are called Psiots, and I think the odds were like 4 out of every so many million people can be a Psiot. And basically, through painful surgery, they can unlock your super abilities. Through events of previous Harbinger stories, there's been other ways to activate it. Harada is the evil Lex Luthor style character who did all kinds of terrible experiments on people. And this is kind of the fallout of all the previous Harbinger books, which you can go back and read. They're in trade from Valiant. This is kind of like what has happened to the team after that. Everybody's disbanded. All the Harbingers, they were known as the Renegades, disbanded. Faith is the only one who is actively still a superhero. Everybody else is either in exile or just out of jail. It's kind of interesting. It's a different spin on an X-Men style story. One cool thing, if you pick this up, there's a coupon, just like old school Valiant. They did a coupon giveaway. You buy the 4 issues of Renegades, I believe it's all 4, you mail them away with $10 and you get some super duper exclusive variant. So if you love super duper exclusive variants, you should buy this in the next couple of issues. This is a pretty good book, and I enjoyed it. I am interested to see what happens with it. It would have to really grab me in the next issue for me to keep going, but it was worth picking up. It was worth checking out.
Next up, Invincible 131. Thank God Invincible is back, even though it's about to go away. For those who don't know what Invincible is, it's the comic book you should be reading. That's enough. That's all you need here. We are dealing with kind of the ramp up to the end of this series, because I think there's only 12 issues left or so. This book picks up with the cliffhanger that happened in the last issue, and some of you might not have noticed it because it's been a while. As the gripe for most Image books, sometimes they go away for a couple months and you forget that they even come out, and then all of a sudden in your pool bin, there they are. I believe this may be the last issue that Cory Walker is on before Ryan Oatley takes back over. Personally, nothing against him. He's probably a good writer, or probably a good artist, but compared to Oatley, I'm not a fan. So that's my only ding about this book, is if you're a fan of Cory Walker on the original series, the first 9 or 10 issues that came out, this is a welcome return to that art form. If you're not, then you're probably going to be happy to see him go, and really happy when Oatley gets back. Pick this one up. If you're not, definitely pick up a trade, because this is a series that you should be reading, and I think we did a trade recommendation for it a while back, but it never aired. So if you haven't, we might do another one just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. Definitely pick this one up.
All right, my next book is Thanos #1 by Lemire and Deodato, or however you say that dude's name. I don't know, he's a pretty good artist, though. This book was pretty good. Thanos comes back. Where was he? He was dead. He was gone. He was missing. Who knows after Secret Wars? But I'll tell you, he's back. And he goes and he takes back his home world. It's a ton of violence. I read this one really quick because it was just a ton of violence. There is a subplot where Thane, the son of Thanos, is setting up, trying to form a coup against Thanos. And I don't want to go too much more into it. I don't want to give too much away. But there's some good violence in there for those guys who like violence. And it's an interesting idea. We'll see where it goes. I like Thanos. This isn't a bad book. I don't know how in I am for a second issue, though.
Guys, next up, Jessica Jones, issue #2. Yeah, that's it. It's worthless. I'm not a fan of it. The art is too gritty. Everything is... It's moving so slowly for a series it's supposed to be picking up and starting over. And it's just not covering enough ground. It's very dialogue heavy, and it's not written all that great. And I can't get past the art styling. If you are a huge fan, and I mean a super fan of Jessica Jones, then you will probably follow the storyline. You will probably get some kind of enjoyment out of it. I'm not that big of a fan, so what is going on in this book just does not appeal to me at all. So I gave it one more issue to see how it was going, and even the cliffhanger at the end, I didn't care. So if you're a fan of Jessica Jones, pick it up. You might like it. If you're not a fan of Jessica Jones, this ain't the book for you.
All right, and now continuing, the only young animal book I actually like, Cave Carson Has a Cybernetic Eye, #2. This book's really good. I really like it. The art being so cartoony and basic is really fun because there's a ton of violence in this book. Like I said at the end of my review of the other one, Wild Dog, the most random character ever, that pretty much only I like, shows up and does a lot of violent things with machine guns. There's more of an advancement of the plot that Cave Carson and the government agency he works for might not quite be what it says it is. Classic. It has a lot of cool throwbacks to the old series, a lot of cool old references, probably so many that went right over my head. But I'm sure they're all in here. The book was really fun. The art is really fun. The writing's pretty good. I don't understand why I like this book so much, and I hate the other Young Animal stuff, especially stuff that's written by the same exact guy. But that's the way it is. This book's a lot of fun. It does show you the origin of when he got his cybernetic eye, which was really cool. It doesn't go into great detail, but it does show you what happened. So I like this book, and I think you should check it out.
And last but certainly not least, Suicide Squad issue #6. With, of course, art by Jim Lee, so that's the reason enough to buy it. We are dealing with a ramp-up because I got a teaser and another comic that the first big series that's going to be coming up and the first big crossover is going to be a Suicide Squad versus Justice League America. So I don't know how that's going to go, but I guess it's following what's happening here in the Black Vault at Belle Reve. As always, the art is phenomenal. Storytelling is very good in this book. A lot goes on. I don't really want to spoil a lot of it for you, but all of your major people are just things are happening terribly in Belle Reve, and we don't know how this is going to turn out, but it's going to be bloody because it's Suicide Squad. People die. So we're going to see if one of your favorite people survives. I don't know if they do or not because, yeah, they've already wasted a major player in the first 6 issues anyway. So you never know who's going to survive, who's not. Hint, Harley is never going to die. It's just not going to happen. So that's pretty much it. And definitely pick this one up. If you're a fan of the art, Jim Lee. Who's not a fan of Jim Lee art? Seriously? If you are, like, what are you reading? I don't know. Pick up Suicide Squad.
Alright, and my last book is Sam Wilson, Captain America number 15. This book created a little controversy because they revealed that D-Man is gay. Big whoop, who cares? I read this issue because it's wrestling, and this issue is fantastic. The very basis of the issue is Captain America, Sam Wilson. He's been dealing with so many things. He's like, I just need a day off. And he gets conned into going to a wrestling match with the new Falcon. And D-Man is going to wrestle for charity. And it's this throwaway story about the promoter being a scumbag. There is great references to real wrestling things. There's references to things like Bonesaw and all kinds of stuff. I like that they actually mention major wrestling promotions. They mention Ring of Honor. They mention Lucha Underground. They mentioned WWE and all kinds of cool things like that. Whoever wrote this, Nick Spencer wrote this, really must enjoy wrestling, or at least put a lot of effort into his information for this issue. It's a fun issue. It has a lot of cool callbacks to old characters, and it's just a throwaway fun issue. And this is a really fun issue, and you should read it. So, Captain America, Sam Wilson, 15. It's awesome.
Alright guys, this week's trade recommendation is Flashpoint. Flashpoint Paradox. This is an extremely well-written book. And I'm on a Jeff Johns kick. So, for those who love Blackest Night, this is along the same vein. For those that have seen the series and know kind of what Flashpoint is, Flash has screwed up the timeline, as he's known to do for going back and meddling in the past. And this has created an all-out war with all his best friends, and everything has gone to hell. Nobody is untouched from this. So a lot of your favorite people are either dying or killing people as they shouldn't be doing, and it's just a really messed up series. But it's a great book. It does pit Flash against the Reverse Flash, and it's a great storyline. Now, the one caveat I'll have, if you have watched the Flashpoint Paradox, this book is going to be kind of tough for you, because the Flashpoint Paradox was done so well that it's almost a shot-for-shot remake of the book. So, if you haven't seen either, I highly suggest picking up the book first. There are some slight differences. Obviously, things are a little bit more violent in the comic because you couldn't get away with that on a motion picture and still get a favorable rating. So definitely pick up the comic first and read it. It is definitely worth the read, and then watch the movie. But overall, this was, for better or for worse, what led into the New 52. So don't let that color your observation of this book. It's still very well worth the read. And that is this week's giveaway. So, last week's giveaway, we were doing a Blackest Night, and that winner is... no drum roll. That winner is Bolt1224. Make sure you email us with your address, phone number, all that fun stuff, and we will get a copy out to you. So this week, to get your copy of Flashpoint, make sure you first are subscribed to both our channels, both Team Ashen and Capes and Scowls. You like this video, and then you comment on this video. Preferably with a recommendation that you might have picked up from this series so far, or just comment with anything, because seriously, we want to hear from you. Thanks again, guys, and we will see you next week, and we appreciate everybody stopping by, and yeah, see you later. Another quick editor's note. One of the books that we're going to be doing for Capes and Scowls, I really wanted to do for this one, but unfortunately there's just none in the comic book store for it. So bug your comic book guys and check out Capes and Scowls for this next title, and order it. Get your preview guys, order it. This is going to be worth the look. So check out Capes and Scowls, and you will see that review.